besties, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Kyin and this is Kyin is Booked. We are celebrating a few things today. So today is my birthday. Today is also my 1-year anniversary on Booktube, and today's the last day of KyinJuly because it is the last day of July and it is my birthday. So shout out to Harry Potter. We do share the same birthday. Casey, one of my friends over on Instagram, is also, this is her birthday today as well, so happy birthday. But yeah, so I was gonna do like a whole, like really, oh, and I have my one balloons over here. I tried to just get the one, but like Walmart substituted it, so I have it all written out. So I'm bougie like that, okay? Anyway, so last year, on July 31st, 2023, I posted my mid-year book freakout tag. So we're doing my mid-year book freakout tag today. I think this is going to be like an annual thing for me where I post it every year on like my Booktube anniversary. So I'm going to tag the original creators, but also I watched Books and Lala's the other day, her mid-year freakout tag, and she added a couple questions and I kind of really liked how she did it. So I'm borrowing a few of the questions from her. So I'm just going to tag all three of those people because yeah. So the first question is, how is your reading going? I find this to become really, here's the crazy thing, like I should have been more prepared for this video. Like I've known all month that I'm gonna be doing this video today. Anyways, I actually feel like I'm having a really great reading year. I am excited because I've been reading a lot more romantasy this year. Not reading romance also too at the same time, but I just really I just finished the summer romantasy-a-thon. So I spent like the whole summer not solely reading romantasy books, but reading a lot of them. And I've discovered a lot of like really great authors, series that I've just become like enamored with, had my heart broken a few times. So I would say my reading year is going like really well. And I think too that what's really nice is like each year that I go by, I've stopped picking up books that I know I'm not gonna like. And I've stopped trying to be like, I have to read all the new releases like as they're coming. Like I've just really accepted the fact that like as a reader, I am a mood reader and I'm going to read what I want to read and I'm going to do it when I want to do it type deal. So I've really just accepted that. And I'm like really in, I don't want to say like my backlist era, but I haven't read a ton of new releases from 2024. And I actually I've started Nalini Singh's other series, the Archangel series. So, and that first book was from 2009. So I've really been like more so looking at books from the past like 4 or 5 years. Are there new releases I want to get to? For sure. Will I? I guess we'll find out. But I would say I'm having a really great reading year and I'm really enjoying like making content and reading the books that like I feel like I'm reading. Also, Belle's just taking a nap right now. So she sleeps like she works like an 80-hour work week. Anyway, best book I've read. So if you asked me this at the beginning of July, I would have told you it is Vicious Bonds by Shanora Williams. I read that, I think it's my first or second book of the year. And I absolutely loved the enemies to lovers dynamic. However, I would definitely change my answer now to Blood and Steel by Helen Schuer. I read this for actually Romantasy-a-thon and I binged the entire series in 5 days. Did I sleep? Sparingly. Did I go through the crazy ups and downs? Absolutely. Would I recommend this series to everyone? For sure. Pick it up. She is one of the newer authors that she's a new to me author. She has 2 other series in her backlist. I just downloaded whichever one is her YA series. But there was just something about this series that pushed it over the edge of Vicious Bonds for me. So kind of a cheating double answer, but whatever. Best sequel, I will still stick with I'm just going to put the whole series up. So the Legends of Thesmar series, I really feel like that was the first series in a while where I read it and I was like, I have to read, we're canceling everything. I'm reading everything right now. like this is what it is type deal. So I think by that, like I really think that elevates it, because I really was like, I don't want to say like obsessed in like a unhealthy way, but I was just like, no, I have to read this. So I definitely think that this goes to the Legends of Thesmar series, and like as a whole. Favorite reread. I'm actually starting a Throne of Glass reread. I haven't annotated my physical copies. So myself and one of my Bookstagram friends are actually, we're doing like a reread and annotate type deal. So really excited to dive back into that world. I, like, as much as I love Throne of Glass, I have only read it like one time. And I've gone back and I've reread like portions of it, but I really want to sit down and like take the time to annotate the books and like do all the things. So really excited to do that. Genre you're loving / reading the most: romantasy. And I will continue reading romantasy. I am debating whether or not I want to go ahead and read House of, is it Flame and Shadow? I think so. The Third Crescent City book before I go back to school. Maybe I'll listen to it on audio when I'm working on my school stuff. I don't know. But I know like as we get ready for the Goodreads list to come out in like October and November, like there's no way Sarah J Maas doesn't end up on that list. And there's been so many mixed reviews about this book that I'm concerned it's actually gonna win and I might not like it. So I've like really been putting it off. New release you haven't read yet but want to. Asking for Trouble by Gianna Darling, but I have to read Caution to the Wind first. Well, I don't have to. Like, I understand it's an interconnected like standalone series, so like you could read each book standalone, but I do like the bigger picture of like having the backstory of all the characters and all the couples. So I want to read Caution to the Wind and then Asking for Trouble. So I guess I would say like getting caught up on the Fallen Men series. Most anticipated for the second half of the year. I'm not even going to church it up to y'all. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. The only book that like I'm like really, really excited about is Dirty Dancer by Heather Long. And this is going to be book 10 in the 82nd Street Vandal series, which is my favorite series of hers. And this is going to be like a Where Are They Now type book, because they just made some features in the Bay Ridge Royal series. So I'm really excited about this because I just want to be back with them. Like, I love him. I love her guys. Like, I love everything about being in that world. So, like, I'm just excited to kind of, like, return for a little bit. But other than that, I'm really just, like I said, focused on reading backlist books or reading books that, like, maybe they were hyped in the beginning of the year and, like, aren't seeing that same hype right now. Like, I'm not pulling up the most anticipated list on Goodreads every month. I mean, like, oh, like, I wonder, right? I did it for July because it was my birthday month. So I was like, oh, this will be fun. But other than that, like, I know there's a book this month that I should be excited about. Is it Ebony Berry? I think so. But, I mean, this month, I mean, August, obviously. So, anyways, I digress. Biggest disappointment. Assistant to the Villain. Cannot remember the author. It's a 3-star for me. I was going to do, like, a reading the Goodreads, like, video type thing, but I didn't do it early enough. And then I started it in January. And Assistant to the Villain was, like, the 3rd book I read, and I hated it. So, I scrapped the whole video idea. Because like I didn't time it well. So like this year, having been on Booktube for a full year, like I have a much better understanding of like timing for certain videos. So we'll try again this year. Biggest surprise. So I've been kind of like going back and forth on this because I wouldn't say I've read any of the books I've read and I'm just like, wow, like I didn't expect it to be good. But I think the biggest surprise for me is the shift in how I feel about Powerless by Lauren Roberts. So when I finished the book, like I was pretty much in the camp of it's like Hunger Games, but make it royal, but make it a different magic system. And I was like, kind of like, I can't believe that like she took all this like kind of stuff from the Hunger Games, all this kind of, but that's okay. Like she didn't call it the Hunger Games. Like she called it something different. Like she changed the magic system. Like it was still an interesting book. Like I still enjoyed reading it. It just like it's okay that books are similar. Like, I'm not going to say there are no new ideas, but it's how the author puts a spin on it. And I feel like maybe I should have just given myself over to like my like 2010s like feeling of YA and just like enjoyed the book for like what it was. So I think like the more I think on it, the more I'm like, yeah, like it was just a happy-go-lucky time and I should have appreciated it more instead of like being like super analytical about it. Oh, sorry, pupper. Favorite new author. So I actually have a few I want to talk about. So Helen Schuer, she's the author of the Blood and Steel series. No, the Legends of Thesmar series, but Blood and Steel is the first book. Okay, we'll get there, y'all. It's all that like, it's all the birthday excitement's going to my head. I'm just kidding. I really should have filmed this earlier, but I really wanted this to be more like a chatty video versus anything. And I think I'm achieving the chattiness because I'm just talking. Anyway, so Helen Schuer, she wrote the Legends of Thesmar series. Like I said, like that is definitely moved into like the top slot for me personally. Claire Sager, I read, oh gosh, I can't remember the name of the series right now. But A Kiss of Iron is the first book. Really enjoyed that one. Penn Cole, I finally read Spark of the Everflame. Really enjoyed that one. So I would say it's probably these three that I've read so far this year. Really, really enjoyed. And I would say those are probably like the new to me authors that I have seen a lot about. And I finally was like, okay, like I'm gonna read this book. Newest favorite character, Thea from the Blood and Steel series. She's a baddie. Like, they told her she couldn't do something and she was like, watch me. They told her that she couldn't be the best warrior known to man. Yeah, okay, like every time you tell me that, it just makes me more and more and more want to be this person. I loved like, and it's like, it was the tension as well with like the male main character, Wilder Hawthorne, that really made, I think, it kind of like go up a notch. But it was her character development, her like leading into like the maturity that she needed to be this warrior. It was her like putting herself in front of everything versus, you know, letting other people fight battles for her. And it was like a man who saw her for who she was. And despite how stressed out he got about like her throwing herself into trouble and all of that, was just like so enthralled by the person that she was. So I think it has a lot to do with like her, but also to like the dynamic between the two characters, which is why I love Blood and Steel so much. And why like I think everybody should read it. Don't worry, I'm going to talk about Blood and Steel again in case you were stressed about it. Book that made me cry. I don't think I've had a book make me cry. I did. Wait, I lied. I reread House of Earth and Blood. Last 200 pages. Like, if you know, you know. Book that made you happy. I don't hate this question, but also too, like, I would say any of my 4 or 5 star reads, like, I've, like, if I enjoyed the book, like, I'm happy. So, that's such a cop-out answer, though. Who do I think I am by saying that? Anyway, yeah, so I would say, yeah, I would just say that, like, right now, a book that's making me happy, I'm rereading the In Death series. Well, I'm re-listening to the In Death series on audio. So I'm on Rapture in Death, and that's making me really happy. Like, I love being back with, like, early Eve Dallas and Rourke, and, like, Peabody just joined, and, like, yeah, I love that whole dynamic. Most beautiful book you bought this year? Oh, you thought I was done talking about Blood and Steel? You thought. So this is from Bookish and Spice. They did this like really cool like exclusive edition, and I do like a whole like showing off of my special editions, but it's a reversible dust jacket, right? Character art on the inside, and then this is what the naked hardcover looks like. And I love how I'm not using my ring light, and I've got the natural light here too, because I really like, it just shows you like how shimmery it is. So this is definitely hands down, and I've bought a lot of really like pretty books this year, but this one, I'm still not over it. need to read by end of year. So I don't really have any books that like I have to have done by the end of the year, or at least like not any like I've put on my heart, because I'm trying to like appreciate the fact that I'm a mood reader and not turn it into something that like becomes problematic, right? I would like to finish reading the Rena Kent, like I'm doing the Rena Kent backlist reading vlogs. I'd really like to finish that out before the end of the year. I still have like 8 books to go before I get to the Legacy of Gods series. Yeah, I know the whole special edition stuff going on with that, but like, yeah. So I'm still doing that. I want to start my next backlist binge series, and I think I can announce it here. Actually, you know what? It's my channel and it's my birthday and it's my Booktube anniversary. I'm going to be reading Shannora Williams' backlist. I haven't told her. I'm actually on her art team, so I'm reading Lethal Souls right now, which is the 3rd book in the Tether trilogy. That one comes out in August. Y'all better get on it. Book 1's Vicious Bonds. It's, you know, the one I talk about all the time. So I'm on her art team or whatever, but I really want to like have a video finish and just like pop it up and then like slide into her DMs and be like, oh, by the way, I'm binging your entire backlist. Hope that's okay. So I want it to be like more of a surprise. So I guess if y'all spoil it for her, but like whatever, that'd be cool. Anyway, so yeah, I want to get started on that. But like other than that, I'm live, laughing, and loving, and I'm gonna read what I want to read when I want to read it. Fave video or post this year. I think the coolest thing I did was this, KyinJuly. Like my sister came up with the name for it actually. Like I remember texting and being like, hey, like I want to do like something in July to like celebrate my birthday and my Booktube anniversary and all of that. And she was like, why don't you just call it KyinJuly? And I was like, okay. So yeah, I've really had a lot of fun doing this. Next year, I think I'm going to have like a schedule and like invite people to like participate. And I think I'm going to have it way more planned, because this year I was kind of just like, let's see how I want to do this. So next year, just be ready. My favorite community members. Okay, so right now, I have 3 that I want to talk about. They're already pretty big Bookstagrammers, but I still like want to talk about them because I've been watching their content a lot. So first is Jen at the Book Refuge. I love her. I love how honest she is in her reviews. I like the fact, so she reads like 11 or 12 books a week. So she does like weekly wrap-ups. So I watch those on Sunday mornings because they always go up on Sundays. And I just really appreciate like how honest she is about the reasons why she may love or may not love a book. And I think it's like very refreshing. So definitely Jen. Books and Lala. So she's the one obviously I took the questions from. Why am I getting tongue-tied at the end? Anyway, so she's the one I took these questions from, so she'll be tagged as well. But so she primarily reads like horror, thriller, nonfiction. So you wouldn't think that like I would watch her content, because, you know, romance reader, romantasy reader, not necessarily like, we don't necessarily have the same style, but, you know, I really do like watching creators that have like different interests in me, because like they do talk passionately about the books, like when they love them or when they hate them. So like that's kind of like really cool to like watch. And she has like really fun like video concepts. And so yeah, I just really enjoy her content. Olivia over at Olivia Reads a Latte. So first off, love the B-roll on her weekly vlogs. Second off, she reads, like she's a romantasy girly as well, but she also like reads a lot of high fantasy. And she might be the reason why I finally start reading Brandon Sanderson. I've read him because I read the Wheel of Time series, and Brandon Sanderson finished out like the last 4 books in that series. So I've read his writing, but I haven't read a Brandon Sanderson book yet. So, but I really enjoy her content. Her weekly vlogs are like my fave. Like she's very chill. I really appreciate how honest she is about like mental health rep, because we're all out here fighting for our lives, right? So really enjoy her content. Yeah, so I definitely think you should give her a follow. And then last but not least, if you don't follow Gavin Reads at all, you really need to, because not only does he have like really fun video concepts, like he throws his whole heart into some of these videos. The neighbor drama that he has going on right now is elite content on YouTube. Like, I'll never delete this app because like this content's free, right? He has a whole dry erase board of the drama, and I love every single minute of it. So if you're not following him, if you've never heard of him, you're welcome, because the vlogs, like right now he's doing like a library challenge. So like every month he has a new library challenge. He just moved house. He has his 2 adorable little cats. I'm not a big cat fan. Obviously I have a little pup, but his cats are like adorable, and he's just so funny. And I just really love his content. So those are the 4 like community members that I've been watching a lot of content for right now. And like I said, like some of them don't even read the same stuff that I read, but like I really just love hearing them talk about like books that they're passionate about, or about books that like I wouldn't necessarily read, but like really cool concepts and like their ideas around it. So happy birthday to me, happy Booktube anniversary to me, happy July 31st, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my second ever book freakout tag and my first year of doing KyinJuly. And I will catch you in the next video. I'm gonna go eat some birthday cake ice cream because it's my birthday. So, as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.